Hi guys, welcome to some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and or emailer, we love hearing from you. Keep those emails coming in.
Yes. I have a question today.
Okay.
Why do people even get dogs? Why?
Well, that sounded a little snotty.
Let's find out. I want to know. Okay.
There are so many reasons. So many reasons.
I can't, I've banned myself from pet stores and rescue leagues and all, and then now your house.
Well, I think it's important to never impulse shop when it comes to pets.
Yes.
Whether it be a cat or a dog or a fish or
anything.
Yes. They're living beings.
Yeah.
You have to know that you're accepting the responsibility of their care. So, really always make sure that whatever the purpose, you have it planned out and have made a wise and thoughtful decision.
Yes.
As to the purchase or taking on that responsibility.
And you know what? Don't let your kids talk you into it unless you're prepared to do that work, because I'll tell you what, they're liars. Well,
the kids? Or
yeah,
the dog that you're gonna get?
the kids, they're not going to do it, okay?
Yeah. That coming from a person who left me with a horse?
You know what? I was making bad decisions at that time, okay?
Apparently so was I, because I let you get it.
Yeah, well, we're both bad, okay?
Tori's horse lives at my house.
She's still sassy.
She is.
Yeah.
Most of Tori's animals are.
It's the weirdest thing.
It is.
I know.
So, okay, let's get
Back
talking
to,
about
okay.
one. Well, we've got a few different reasons why, people get them. And we're going to talk primarily about dogs. Because we're dog talks.
That's right.
So, I think the most common reason. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
So, this is not factual, no research done.
Yes.
No vets told me this or trainers. It's just kind of my own ideas.
Yep.
As well as
mine. Yep. We didn't Google anything. We're just talking about our own thoughts and opinions on this, so.
Yeah, so we're, I think one of the more common ones I hear of is just for companionship.
Yeah. For sure.
Someone who's lonely.
Well, and even, me as a younger person, I had a little bit of a spurt where I didn't have any animals. And I tell you what, I absolutely hated it. Actually,
I recall that, and you asked me if Jim could come and live with you.
I did, and he hated me. So I was desperate. I'm like, I need somebody to keep me company.
Yeah, well.
So
I think loneliness and companionship are a really important thing. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have emotional issues or depression, some special needs in that respect. And I think there's no better way than with a dog.
It's true. And I will always maintain, unless you're a horrible person, I think everybody should have a dog. They're great for people.
Yes.
So, and it gives them a great place to live. So, it's a win-win.
Well, and I think that kind of gets on to the, if you think about, the loneliness and the emotional aspects, some, certain people diagnoses, that gets you into the therapy dogs.
Yeah.
And service dogs, which, of course, if you're blind, you may need some help.
Right.
Or, have physical needs.
Yep.
You're going to need a service dog.
Yep.
But the therapy dogs also kind of go along with a companion dog, where they help appease, psychological or emotional issues.
Right.
So, always, I think when you look at a seeing eye dog, obviously you're looking at it, you're seeing it. That's what that's the purpose. It's a service dog.
Exactly.
But people don't always see the side of an emotional need.
Right.
Or
It's not a visible,
right,
like
Yeah.
being in a wheelchair.
So also very important to, acknowledge those people that need a therapy dog
Yeah.
or companion.
My dogs aren't technically therapy dogs, but yeah, they are. Okay.
Well, I have two that are registered as,
Yeah.
but there's so much controversy and legalities to that, it's just very confusing as to where you really fall in that certification,
Right.
which is a totally different subject. But very important that people have that, a pet for that type of support.
Right. Well, and like you said, sometimes it is a necessity, but, I don't think anyone's complaining about having to have a dog. So
I walk into my house and I am always greeted by Ziggy and Karma.
It's a great greeting.
And Ziggy, he has a Kong bone and it's black.
Yes.
He doesn't chew on it. I mean, rarely.
Yeah.
Once in a while I'll catch him chewing on it. He always jumps up with that Kong bone in his mouth.
Yeah.
And Karma's much shorter than him. And she's like hanging over the gate, just kind of looking at me with her little paw pad. I mean, who can be unhappy?
You can't.
Coming home to something like that.
You can't.
Yes.
So,
I mean, really, that is equally as important as some of these other needs, the more obvious needs.
Well, they really are. My kid can have a terrible day at school. It doesn't happen all the time, obviously, but, his face lights up when he gets home and he's got these guys bugging him. He actually would like to take one to school, but I've told him that he'd need, any one of them would need a desk of their own. So I'm not sure the school would like these guys. They're a little larger than I think they would want in a school.
Probably.
Elementary school at that. So.
We used to have Leroy.
Oh, he was
a yellow lab. I don't believe he was purebred. He was somebody I knew had this litter, and we had room, and I love dogs. So we took Leroy on, and Leroy, he was the absolute silliest dog I think I have ever owned. He was an absolute, as I'm saying that, 20 different things that he did are rushing through my head.
Same.
You could have the worst day at work and come home and he just put a smile on your face every time. And this is a dog that I probably spent more money on dog beds and cooking utensils.
Yeah.
Because he chewed them up.
Mm-hmm.
And he just was wonderful. He was just a dog that made you happy.
And he was super smart, too, because one thing that made me mad and him happy was, he'd want to play with you, and he'd go in a circle, and he'd have a toy or something he could have in his mouth, and he'd make a couple passes looking at you as he went by, and that didn't work, so then he'd grab something of yours that he wasn't supposed to have, and then he'd make a couple passes and look at you. Make sure you saw what he had. If that didn't work, he'd get something a little bit bigger that was also yours and he shouldn't have. And you're trying to ignore him so that he quit, right? Well,
Right.
It didn't work.
No.
He kept going. And then you did have to get up.
He was persistent, yes. Yeah, he was a great dog. So, I mean, dogs just totally change your emotional state.
They do.
So it is great. Another thing, it's kind of an odd thing in how our society is, but people are opting to have, four-legged families.
Yes.
Opposed to children these days.
Yep, they just get a couple dogs, few dogs, and they just, have that for their little family and call it good.
Yep. Now, though, I do know of a person who had, and I'm not a really small dog fan, but I think she had, it was like a little Yorkie, like a teacup Yorkie, and then a teacup Chihuahua.
Tiny dogs.
They were literally, she could not have children.
Oh.
And these were her
babies.
This was when I worked at the vet clinic. She just loved these two little dogs, and you could tell they were very well cared for and very much loved. But you could see where having those pets kind of filled a void for her.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I think people, create a family out of just pets.
Mm-hmm.
But also there's people who can have kids that are choosing to just have dogs or cats.
Well, and I know, I don't think, like Grandma, she has, is it Bentley?
Yep.
Okay. She has, and I don't know how much of a dog person she really is. She's always been around ours when she's been over and stuff. But Woody was kind of the first one that I recall her having, and she just fell in love with him, and then now she has got Bentley. So, which I think is great for her to have just a little buddy to hang out with. I mean, she doesn't do as much because she's 97.
Right.
So,
well, I don't think Bentley does as much anymore. She's had him. They got him from a rescue.
Okay.
And I think he was a couple of years old then, and I think they've had him since, gosh, I'm going to say at least 13 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe more.
So he is quite old also.
Yeah. So they're both slow right now, and Bentley keeps her good company. That is another case where if you have someone who's older, you can get, a pet for them that is not going to be jumping on them, scratching their fragile skin. It's just a really nice addition to a family, which is why Primo Corso Kennels does try to learn a little bit about the people that are buying a dog, and then they can match the pet to the lifestyle.
Right, because they have the opportunity to get to know the personality of the puppies as well.
Right.
So you can find that match if, talking to the people who are buying a puppy as well.
Yeah. So, that's part of building a family. You want it to be a successful thing.
Right.
I think that this could be a topic within a topic within a topic.
Oh, no.
I know. I've got a few of those. But some people really enjoy, different types of competition with dogs.
Yes.
I think there's so many different types of competition. So I don't even know.
Yeah.
They actually have herding competitions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They have obedience. They have just show dogs that look good.
I've seen, now, I don't know, it must be some sort of real competition, but, they have, I believe, hunting type dogs, and they'll, throw something, they jump in the water, but they're, going.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what it's called, but I've watched that myself. Those are some crazy dogs.
They are.
I cannot even imagine them doing that, but, and how they get them, it's got to be the dog has an interest in it.
Right, yeah.
You can't make a dog want to be in the water.
Oh,
I don't think you can.
No.
And Tucker, Cody's dog.
Oh, he loves the water.
He absolutely, I have seen him walk out on a farm and get in the horse water and just lay down in it. And all you see is his head sticking up with his ears sticking up in the air. And you try to give that dog a bath and he turns violent.
Oh, really?
He does not like being sprayed.
Oh.
He does not like being scrubbed. He does not like a bath for anything. But you put a pool of water out in the yard and he'll be the first one laying down in it.
I was going to say, I've never seen that dog run from any kind of water.
Yep,
but
he will.
Wow, really?
So, yeah, that's super cool. But there's different types of the obedience.
Agility. I know
agility is a good one. I would actually like to not do it competitive. And that's the thing. You don't have to do some of these competitively, but some people want to set something like a little obstacle course up in their yard for the dogs to play with, to train them on just for interaction.
Yeah.
So some people just really enjoy competitions.
Well, and I think I sent you a video. Was it a Cane Corso? I want to say it was, but they did an agility course at his very own pace. Did I said that one to you?
I very slow.
Very slow, trotting along, lots of skin. We're
I
making
think the
it.
buzzer went off
Yeah.
like halfway through his run.
Mm.
I'm doing air quotes
Yeah.
through his run.
Yep.
Yeah.
They finished it, yeah, but
And he got standing ovations.
he was
Everybody was cheering that
Yes.
guy on. Yeah, everyone just loved it. So.
Now that is not a dog competing to win, okay?
No, that is a pet owner just having a good time with the dog. So
yeah.
that was funny. I liked that a lot.
Yep, that's kind of anybody can compete. See that? It's fine, and they
Yeah.
will love you anyway.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have to have a full agility course in your yard, but if you like
Yeah.
to do, even straw bales lined up that they can jump over or walk across, or
Yeah.
it's kind of fun.
They have you can different things with tires you can make. I've seen Pinterest is good for all that. So
I hate Pinterest.
I know you do.
You love it.
I know.
Dietrich loves it.
I know.
Also, there are people that just get dogs for hunting.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think it's changing a little bit.
Mhm.
But one thing about that really bugs me, like I said, I feel like over time it's changed.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like at one time people would get these hunting dogs and they were always penned up unless they were going hunting.
Yes.
And they didn't really get a lot of interaction.
Right.
But as, dog life is growing amongst people and families, I think they are integrated more into daily life and in the house more, a lot more interaction. I'm old. So at one time, they really were just pretty much left outside.
Yep.
So, I think that is great. Those hunting dogs love to what? Hunt.
Yeah.
They love to hunt.
Yep.
So they love to get those pheasants for their owner. I mean, it's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
And I really like seeing how things are going as far as the growth of, what would I say, including the dog into your life.
Yeah.
So not only do you have them for the fun of hunting, which I'm not a hunter, so I don't think it's fun.
Right.
But if you are a person that loves to hunt and thinks it's awesome, I think it's great to have a hunting dog.
Well, and how great that your dog not only helps you with hunting, has a great time doing it, but then gets to hang out with you and your family at the end of the day too.
Yep.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it is really great to see that, that is changing, because actually when I think of hunting dogs, that's what I imagine. The dogs jumping up the fence, the gates, in their little runs that, because down in Iowa, there's my friend, they did Pheasants Forever, and some of their friends had dogs that were kenneled like that for hunting pheasants, but they were specifically for that, just for hunting.
Well, I think anytime you take a dog that is, made for hunting, swimming, a working dog, any of those, I think when you put those dogs to a job
Mm-hmm.
to do what they are made to do, I think you have less behaviors from them.
Yeah.
And they're easier to train because they are doing what they're inclined to do.
And they want to please their owner. I think that's built into any dog.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much any dog, but I think that, I think if I took Jim out and said, let's herd some sheep, he would say, you're an idiot.
Yeah, he'd be like, you want me to, huh?
Yeah. But I think when you take and put a dog into its natural position,
Right.
and they thrive at that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have a dog that has a happy exhaustion at the end of the day. They aren't going to be digging holes in your yard.
Right.
They aren't going to be tearing up the couch. They're doing their job.
Yeah.
So I think it's important if you have, an addition to your home for a specific need, that you use them for that.
Right.
The Malinois is actually a dog that is very often in shelters because I think people don't realize the level of energy that those dogs have, and they just can't. When a dog doesn't get to do what they need to do, they become destructive and naughty.
Right.
So I think that's why you see a lot of them in rescue situations.
Yeah. Well, and too with that, that kind of goes into like working dogs and stuff also. You know, having dogs that, well, some of them do stay outside, but they can still be part of the family too.
Right.
I mean, when you have a farm like that, I think sometimes some people forget that the families are out there probably most of the time with them too. I mean, it's a farm.
Farm folks are usually pretty active outside, taking care of cattle, horses, chickens, goats, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
And that's with the working dogs. You can be looking at guardian dogs or herding dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, there's others, but the herding dogs, they are gonna. I saw I think I sent you this video.
Okay.
It was some sheep came running out of a barn.
Yes.
And there was, I'm gonna say, an Australian Shepherd or Border Collie standing up just out before it opened up into the pasture area.
Yeah.
And as soon as those sheep saw that dog, they just did a U-turn and went right back in the building.
Nope, that dog didn't even have to move.
So that was an active dog.
That's right.
The sheep would not have been worried about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, people get them for the working dogs, for guardian dogs or herding.
Well, I saw this really cute video. They were Anatolian shepherds, and they watch sheep and goats.
Well, they watch anything.
Anything, yeah. And one of them was actually watching. There was a goat was giving birth, and there was two dogs. One of them was kind of more pacing, and the other one was a little bit more attentive. But it was super cute because, I mean, these are the goats that these dogs watch, and something's going on. They're trying to watch,
Yep.
They obviously have some sort of process. I'm sure it's probably not the first time the dog, but it was kind of cool to just see that dog, watching out for the goats and, just kind of knew what to do. And then, there was other ones would try and go in there and they'd be like, get out of here. So it was kind of neat seeing that. And, I would imagine they're probably really great with the kids on that farm, too.
I'm sure if they're raised with the kids, they are.
Yeah.
The Cane Corso is a guardian dog, and they have the ability, they're very intelligent dogs, and they're very in tune to their people.
Yes.
And they have the ability to understand that a child is a delicate version of us.
Right.
So I think, with that, they kind of have a sense of gentleness.
Yeah.
So they're amazing animals. I'm always impressed by a dog. There's not a day goes by that I don't hear about something, see something, or personally deal with something that just totally impresses me with the dog.
Yeah. It's pretty good. These guys are definitely thinkers.
Sometimes too much.
Sometimes way too much. I wish they would stop sometimes.
Well, at least till noon.
Yeah.
Then I have a chance to, get focused, get awake, get caffeinated.
Plenty of caffeine first, okay?
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I cannot say enough good about dogs. Although there are bad people out there that shouldn't touch them, so that's okay.
There are. Well, and for personally, I have these dogs because I don't buy guns. So, that's one good reason to have dogs, which obviously you hope no one ever breaks in. But, I maintain that if somebody's going to break into a house, they might go next door versus a house with some large dogs in it.
I would agree.
So,
yes.
I feel I feel safer having these guys. Whether it's me and my kid, me and some friend, doesn't matter. I feel a lot safer with these guys here than even if it was just Jim. At least I know somebody was here before they got here.
Well, that's the thing, it's not even always about guarding, actively guarding, but they're a great alarm system. You always know if something's going on.
Yep.
And where I live, there's really nothing out there, but I will see, the dog's acting up at night, and then I'll walk out the driveway and I see deer prints
Yeah.
going down the driveway, so I know something's been there. And,
Yeah.
I mean, they alert you to intruders. They alert you to something different going on in a neighborhood.
Right.
Anything really. And they don't necessarily have to be crazy barkers either.
Right.
I mean, sometimes it's just hopping up and looking.
Well, and that's, these guys, I have a big front window, and I can only imagine what some people in town think, because all three of them will get their front feet up on coffee table I got there and just look, watching.
Mm-hmm.
And they really don't bark that much. They're not huge barkers, but they're kind of just seeing what's out there. Now, I do know if they do start barking, there's probably something different out there.
Right.
And maybe I should just at least glance, see what's going on.
I generally check when my dogs are barking.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's something going on out there that has their attention, I mean, and some of my dogs look at me. They'll be barking at something, and, something's got them upset, and they look to see if I'm checking on it. Yeah. So I do.
Right. Yeah. It's like,
I feel like, hey, okay, let me see.
Let's see what's up. Yeah. And that's the thing, they really do, even if you don't hear something or see something, they will. That, it's one of they're going to tell you when they hear something. And like I said, I feel safer with them around. It's not like I live in fear. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's bad people no matter where you're at. So not only do I love dogs, but it's even one more reason to have them.
Yeah.
So.
I think when you guys were young, oh gosh, I think we had a couple of little dogs, but they, would bark at ants on the counter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of anything. And so they weren't a great alarm system.
Mm-hmm.
They were a little annoying. But then as you guys got older and I felt like, it was a little safer, I thought to myself that, we'd start having bigger dogs, which came to Ivan and Caliban.
Mm-hmm.
We had Golden Retriever. We just had bigger dogs.
Yeah.
And it does give you a sense of security. Now, there are places that train actual guard dogs.
Oh.
And that's fine too.
Yeah.
Those dogs, that is their job. They're taught to guard.
Right.
But, there's just the security and, just the comforting feeling of having a dog that's going to alert you to something happening or, stand in the door and say, hey, don't come in our house.
Well, and that's the thing, I know my kid feels safe with these guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be doing something in the kitchen making dinner and I'll walk out and he's got 3 large dogs surrounding him. Okay. Right. Probably the safest kid around.
Yeah.
And he loves that. At the same time, I totally lost my train of thought. And we, I don't have to train these guys to watch out for him either.
Yes.
Because if somebody were to walk into that front door and, they don't know them or, they're going to have something to say real fast.
Yeah.
And, all we had to do was teach them a few manners and love them.
Yep.
And again, that's, some dogs, that is their specific job. So they're trained for that. These are just our pets that are like us enough to keep us safe.
Well, never underestimate the power of love.
It's true.
They can be amazing protectors just because they have bonded with you. Mm. So, and, really, that's the thing. Do you have a lot of break-ins? Do you really need to worry about having a dog trained to the level that it's, an attack dog? Most people don't.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying there aren't bad areas. Yeah. But really, I think just bonding with them and creating that that connection that makes them want to care for their owners, right, or their family, mm-hmm. With the Cane Corso, it's built in.
Right.
I mean, that's what they do. And with some of the other guardian dogs as well, it's built into mm-hmm. who they are as a dog.
Right.
So you don't really have to train them. I mean, there's bite work that they train him for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's very controversial, but, really just for home security, just knowing what's going on in your own area, it's just great to have them just for that peace of mind.
Well, and, Enzo has not been trained in any way besides typical sit, stay, kennel, all that stuff. And, if he thinks him and I are playing too rough, he steps between us. He's not aggressive towards me, but he wants it to stop.
Between him and I, meaning you and your son.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He stepped, he says, that's my kid, actually. No. Enzo, that is my boy.
Well, actually, I don't know if you noticed it, but when, this is going to make me sound bad, but when we were putting the floor in the whelping room.
Oh, yeah?
I yelled at you.
Oh, yeah.
And, Ziggy didn't care for that.
Oh, yeah.
He was crabby all day because I yelled.
That was a little strange. I was like, huh. Is that because he likes me that much?
Well, he doesn't like yelling.
We know that.
Yeah. So, he was mad at me all day for that one.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't know he was quite like that. I was like, it's okay. It wasn't really that big of a deal.
Well, I yelled and he said no.
I guess. That was interesting. I was a little surprised by that, but
so I mean, they do have that natural bond, and the dogs in my house do love you, so you're safe out there too.
I feel safe out there. I'm glad they love me.
Yeah. Rather have them love you than hate you.
Well, I don't want to be their dinner. No. So
no.
And even Jim, he's not. His ears went up real fast. That was adorable. He is not a guardian dog. He doesn't guard, but I think he would try to take somebody down.
I might disagree with that.
He would bark.
If it was a man, he doesn't care for men.
Yeah, as long as it was a man and not a woman. I think a woman, he'd just be standing there trying to figure out.
Toy.
Yeah, shaking it. Let's go outside. Let's go outside. Oh no! Look what I've started.
The dogs in the room have stood up because they want to go OUTSIDE because she said the word.
I was just talking about him throwing his toy because it's adorable.
Oh, and then you got to say toy.
Dang it! I am on a streak right now, aren't I?
She's got the staff all worked up here.
Oh, jeez.
Anyhow, so some people just get the dogs for security, safety. Yep. I don't think you really need to train them for bite work, but that is an activity that people like to get a dog for as well. So there's many, many reasons that people get dogs, and I think as long as you apply yourself to the training and the follow through of a responsibility, and make sure that you are committed to the full responsibility of having that pet, I think it's great. There are dogs for just about any reason.
Well, and, to avoid situations like, possibly a Malinois ending up in a shelter, look up what kind of dog, do some looking. See what it says. Talk to people who have had, something.
Yeah.
Just, if you're not sure and you really do want to commit to a dog, just make sure you're finding out the right kind for you.
Yeah. The different dogs for different lifestyles.
Right.
For me, one thing I do like about the Cane Corso, and I guess, this is me and only me I'm speaking for, but they can go outside and run like gazelles.
Yeah.
And just be crazy and having a good time. They don't really fetch, but they'll play with a ball and play tug of war. As soon as you bring them in the house, they're calm.
Yeah.
And they do, I hear people saying, oh, are they high drive? Or, what's their personality like? Well, they can be high drive and also calm down.
Right.
That's what I see in Karma. She is outside. She's a nutcase, just having a blast. But then when she comes in, she's all schmoozy and nice and she's calm. So it's, I think you have to research each breed.
Yeah.
And and that's why I'm totally supportive of rescues, but
Yeah.
it's a little harder to get a handle on what you're going to be dealing with if it's like some sort of mixed breed that you don't really know what its actual origin is.
Right.
So, I mean, certainly I'm not knocking the rescues, the Humane Society, whatever you have going, the specific breed rescues. But if you're going to go to a facility that has just random mixed breeds, strays off the road, you don't know what you're dealing with. So if you want something a little bit more predictable, leaning towards a purebred or having an idea of the mix, if it's a mixed breed, really helps you decide if it's one that will fit into your lifestyle.
Well, and that, I, in my younger years, after high school, and in my early 20s, I had a couple dogs from a rescue, but, now that I have my son, it's definitely something where I have purebred dogs here.
So if you are thinking about adding to your life, whether it be your family or a hobby, make sure to consider the breed, the commitment, and know that, these are living beings and that you have to be responsible for them from the time you get it until they're done. And it's always important to do the research, consult your professionals in the area.
Yes.
And kind of get a handle on what you need as far as your level of commitment and activity level to have it be a success.
Right. There is literally a dog for everyone. So.
A dog what?
For everyone.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Unless you're garbage. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just saying. But after you've done your research, if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com or comment down below, and never forget to follow.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we hope that you will be here for our next episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.